Hello, Chelsea fans. Welcome back to the Blues Report, and remember to subscribe, then enjoy your news. Let's dive in.
This time, wait a second. This time, just drive through a little bit quicker now. Up. Don't stop at the end. Where we go? Come on. Just bow. So here. Good. Drive away. Good. To your left, to your right, knee change. Nice. We'll go over. Yep. Bang, bang, bang. Well done. You guys are going to do one time round. Twice. Good. Bang. Bring it back.
Chelsea's final preparations ahead of Crystal Palace clash. Intensity, focus, and togetherness at Cobham. The sun was rising slowly over Cobham Training Centre, casting a golden hue across the neatly trimmed pitches. It was the morning before Chelsea's crucial Premier League fixture against Crystal Palace, and the mood in the air was charged with both determination and anticipation. The training ground was alive before the official start time. Players arriving early, coaches setting up drills, and the sound of footballs echoing off the boot. This wasn't just any match in the calendar. With the season reaching a pivotal stage, Chelsea needed every point they could muster. Crystal Palace, known for their resilience and unpredictable bursts of brilliance, would be no easy opponent. The Blues knew that to secure victory, they had to be at their sharpest, mentally, physically, and tactically. Arrival and warm-up. The first players to step onto the pristine grass were the goalkeepers. Robert Sanchez, Georgia Petrovic, and young talent Lucas Bergstrom emerged from the gym, having completed their initial stretching and mobility work indoors. Goalkeeper coach Ben Roberts was already setting up the cones, hurdles, and resistance bands. For keepers, every session starts with sharpening reflexes and footwork, a crucial foundation for the 90 minutes of concentration ahead. Not long after, the outfield players arrived in small groups, each one wearing the latest Chelsea training kit, the royal blue blending seamlessly with the morning sky. Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo walked together, discussing the tactical notes they had reviewed earlier with the coaching staff. Cole Palmer followed, carrying his boots in one hand and sipping from a hydration bottle. His quiet but focused demeanor reflected the mood of the squad, confident but fully aware of the challenge ahead. After a few minutes of light jogging around the pitch under the guidance of fitness coach Enrique Hilario, the squad moved into dynamic stretches, hip openers, lunges, and acceleration bursts. The laughter from some players during warm-up betrayed the underlying camaraderie in the squad. Raheem Sterling cracked a joke with Reece James, while Marc Cucurella teased Noni Madueke about his choice of colourful boots. Ball work and possession drills. Once the muscles were warm, the intensity shifted up a gear. The coaching staff divided the players into small groups for rondos, the classic possession-based warm-up that sharpens both passing speed and defensive pressure. The inner circle defenders had to work twice as hard as their teammates zipped the ball around in tight spaces, with rapid one-touch play forcing quick decision-making. Palmer, with his silky technique, was nearly impossible to dispossess. Nicholas Jackson, meanwhile, added a touch of flair, flicking the ball behind his leg to release Malo Gusto into space. The rondos were competitive. Any player who lost the ball had to sprint to a designated cone and back, adding an element of fitness to the drill. The next phase focused on positional play. Chelsea's midfield triangle, Enzo, Caicedo, and Conor Gallagher, worked on orchestrating movement between the lines. Gallagher's energy was infectious. He constantly pressed, tracked back, and encouraged teammates to increase the tempo. Caicedo acted as the stabilizer, breaking up play and switching the ball with precision, while Enzo dictated rhythm with his exceptional passing range. Tactical rehearsal. After a quick water break, it was time for the tactical segment. The upcoming match against Crystal Palace required meticulous planning. Palace's physicality, set-piece threat, and counter-attacking speed could punish any lapse in concentration. The back four, Reece James, Thiago Silva, Levi Colwill, and Marc Cucurella, were drilled in defensive shape. Assistant coach Zsolt Lowe emphasized compactness, ensuring there was minimal space between the defensive and midfield lines. The team rehearsed how to handle Palace's wide threats, particularly the pace of Michael Olise and Eberechi's. In attack, Chelsea practiced their pressing triggers. The idea was to suffocate Palace's build-up play by pressing high when their centre-backs received the ball with their back to play. Nicholas Jackson spearheaded the press, with Palmer and Sterling closing the angles from the flanks. Behind them, Gallagher stepped forward aggressively to win second balls. Set-piece focus 1 area. The staff paid particular attention to was set pieces, both offensively and defensively. Crystal Palace are notoriously dangerous from corners and free kicks, boasting aerial threats like Joachim Andersen and Mark Guehi. Chelsea responded with a series of defensive drills, using live simulations where Sanchez was tested against crowded penalty areas. In attack, the Blues looked to maximize their own set-piece potential. Enzo Fernandez's whipped deliveries caused constant problems, while Thiago Silva's timing in the air remained immaculate despite his age. Malo Gusto and Cucurella took turns rehearsing short corner routines, designed to pull defenders out of position and create shooting lanes for long-range efforts. Small-sided matches. To end the main portion of the session, the squad split into 2 teams for an intense small-sided game. The goals were brought closer together, reducing the pitch size to increase pressure and decision-making speed. The matches were physical but fair, every player competing as if it were match day. Palmer's vision stood out again, threading passes through the tightest gaps. Sterling showcased his acceleration, repeatedly beating his man in one-on-one situations. At the other end, Sanchez pulled off a stunning reflex, save from a close-range Gallagher shot, drawing loud applause from both players and staff. In these moments, you could see the blend of competitiveness and unity. Every goal, every interception, and every tackle was met with loud cheers or groans, a sign of a squad fully engaged in the task at hand. Fitness and recovery work. As the session neared its end, the players were taken through high-intensity sprint intervals. This wasn't just about building stamina, it was about replicating the late-game bursts needed in a tight Premier League match. Each sprint was followed by tactical reminders from the staff, reinforcing the need to maintain focus even under fatigue. After the sprints, players moved into the recovery phase, static stretches, foam rolling, and light jogs to bring heart rates down. The sports science team handed out recovery shakes and monitored hydration levels closely. Post-training discussions, before heading back inside, the squad gathered in a semicircle near the halfway line. The head coach addressed the group, reiterating the key tactical points for tomorrow: discipline in shape, aggression in duels, and precision in transitions. He reminded them that Crystal Palace would be well organized and motivated, and that patience might be just as important as urgency. Several players stayed behind for extra work. Palmer and Gallagher practiced long-range shooting, testing Sanchez and Petrovic. Thiago Silva took young defenders Levi Colwill and Alfie Gilchrist aside, offering pointers on positioning and reading the game, the kind of wisdom that can't be found in any tactics board. By the time the last player left the pitch, the sun had risen fully, casting a bright light over Cobham. The session had been intense, focused, and meticulously planned, a perfect reflection of the mindset Chelsea would take into the Crystal Palace clash. For the players, the work was done for the day. For the fans, the wait until kickoff would feel even longer now, knowing the squad was leaving no stone unturned in their pursuit of victory. Tomorrow, when Chelsea step onto the Stamford Bridge pitch, the patterns rehearsed at Cobham, the pressing triggers, the set-piece routines, and the tactical discipline drilled today will all come into play. And if the training ground energy was anything to go by, the Blues would be ready to meet the challenge head-on.